Someone is playing a harp down there. It looks like it's going to be a wedding reception. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's the start of a new series that I'm going to be doing. Right now it's our final day in Hawaii and I figured why not film this video while I have about 45 minutes of extra time on my hands. Today we are going to be diving into some of the most... Why is that harp getting louder? Today we are going to be diving into some of the most anticipated book releases within the first 3 months of the year. I'm talking January, February, and March. I have a spreadsheet that I'm looking at right now on my laptop where I've typed up some of my most anticipated books, and all I can say is that this coming spring of 2024 we are getting bombarded with new releases. So let's stop talking and just dive into January. So the first book that I have on this list that comes out January 2nd is Midnight by Amy McCullough. This is the same author that wrote Breathless. That was a book of the month selection last year. I haven't had time to read that one quite yet, but this next book that she has coming out sounds so good. We are following our main character Olivia, and she has been gifted a once-in-a-lifetime Antarctic cruise. If you know me, the way to my heart is going on cruises, so as soon as I read this, I'm sold. This book just sounds like we are on this Antarctic cruise with the main character, but there's a killer on board. Unable to sleep in the endless eerie daylight, Olivia has no idea who she can trust, and if she can't figure it out soon, she won't make it back alive. That's all I want to know before heading into it, and that's definitely going to be one that I'm going to pick up. The next book in January comes out on the 9th, and it is The Heiress by Rachel Hawkins. Rachel Hawkins, aka Erin Sterling, is the author of The Wife Upstairs, Reckless Girl, The Villa, those type of popcorn short thriller books, and she has this other one coming out that I have been anticipating because I think it was pushed off into 2024. The blurb for this one just says, Rachel Hawkins returns with a twisted new gothic suspense about an infamous heiress and the complicated inheritance that she left behind. There's nothing as good as the rich gone bad. This thriller says it's only going to be 304 pages, so this is going to be one that I can just sit down on a couch with and probably finish in one setting. The next one in January comes out on the 16th, and it's called The Fury by Alex Michaelides. This one I'm on the fence about. Alex Michaelides and I don't have the best relationship. I read The Silent Patient by him. Unpopular opinion, I absolutely despised it, but this is one that caught my interest. The Fury is a masterfully paced thriller about a reclusive ex-movie star and her famous friends whose spontaneous trip to a private Greek island is upended by a murder. See, that just has all of the things I love. A vacation gone bad, a murder, Greek islands, come on now. I don't know what it's been recently, but towards the end of 2023 and now into 2024, so many books are focused on ex-movie stars or ex-boy band members, pop stars, people in the music industry, film stars. I'm sensing a theme here by a lot of these authors, but I'm definitely not complaining about it because everyone I've done so far twists it in a way that's unique to them. The next book coming out on the 16th as well is Only If You're Lucky by Stacey Willingham. This is the same author as A Flicker in the Dark. This is her third adult thriller. This is a tantalizing thriller about the nature of friendship and belonging, about loyalty, envy, and betrayal. Another gripping novel from an author quickly becoming the gold standard in psychological suspense. I am definitely a fan of psychological suspense thriller mysteries, so this is one I will definitely have to pick up. I'm hoping that it's a book of the month selection for January. Next up we have The Breakup Tour. It comes out on January 22nd. This is the same authors of The Roughest Draft, Emily Wibberley and Austin Sigmund Broca. This one I feel like is going to appeal a lot to Taylor Swift fans. I'm not a Swiftie myself, but I can see how it's going to attract a bunch of the Swifties. The blurb on this one just says, a rising star musician has a second chance at love with an old flame that she remembers all too well. There's already a Taylor Swift reference in the synopsis. What more do y'all need to know? Then the last book in January that I want to talk about comes out on the 30th, and that is A House of Flame and Shadow by Sarah J. Maas. This is the third installment in the Crescent City series. I have not read a single book in this series, but I know there are so many people looking forward to it. I don't want to read the synopsis in case I do want to pick these up one day. They do interest me just a little bit, but I haven't read any Sarah J. Maas ever. But this series has kind of just been in the back of my head on my radar for if I'm feeling in a fantasy mood, one day I might pick these up. Now it's time to dive into February. The first one that I want to mention comes out on the 2nd, and it is The Teacher by Frida McFadden. I am a notorious Frida McFadden, I don't want to say hater because that's mean. I am notorious for not liking Frida McFadden. Something about her books, I think it's just because they're so short, has me constantly going back wanting to read her next latest book that she puts out. This is a chilling story of twisted secrets and long-awaited revenge. Lesson number 1, trust no one. Eve has a good life. All is as it should be, except this high school was rocked by a scandal involving a student-teacher affair, with one student, Addie, at its center. But Eve knows there is far more to these ugly rumors than meets the eye. Addie can't be trusted. She lies, she hurts people, she destroys lives. At least that's what everyone says. But nobody knows the real Addie. Nobody knows the secrets that could destroy her, and Addie will do anything to keep it quiet. This book says it's hitting around the 400-page mark, so I'm going to be intrigued to see how a longer-lengthed Frida McFadden book goes. This next book I am so excited for. It is Tessa Bailey's Fangirl Down. This book comes out on the 6th of February, and this is the start of her new Big Shot series. She already has announced both of the books coming out in 2024 for this specific series, and I am so excited to read it. This series follows 2 different sports. So the first being this book, Fangirl Down, follows a golf romance, and then the second one is a hockey romance. This golf one is one I'm super excited about. The hockey one intrigues me, but this is the one that I am hoping will go very well. The title kind of gives everything you need to know about this one. It is about a professional golfer and his biggest fangirl falling in love. The next book comes out on the 13th of February, and it is The Catch by Amy Lee. This is the third book in her influencer series. I haven't read any books from the series so far, but this one sounds to be the best out of all of them. This follows a grumpy lobster fisherman as he tosses a fashion influencer's impeccably curated life overboard. It's giving the same characters as It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey, so I really hope it gives off something new involving this same plot, because me and everyone else is a sucker for a lobster fisherman as a main character. I don't even need to say more. This next book is the third book in the Supernatural Singles series. It comes out on February 13th as well, written by April Asher. This is Not Your Crush's Cauldron. I was lucky enough to find this one in a little free library in my hometown, so I'm hoping to binge read the series at some point because I have heard so many great things about every single book within this series so far. So it sounds like it's a love story between a witch and a guardian angel. I don't think I've ever read a book with a guardian angel as a main character, so that's going to be super interesting. A very unique idea. Then the last book I want to talk about for February comes out on the 24th, and it is Ali Hazelwood's newest adult romance, and it is Bride. Now this one I'm a little bit nervous to head into it just because I've never read a romance specifically like this before. Our 2 main characters, one of them is a vampire bride and the other is a werewolf. I just hope it doesn't fall into the typical stereotype that she has made where the female is a teeny tiny girl and the male is dark and masculine, broody, you know, like he's got big muscles kind of vibe. I just hope it takes a different approach, but I'm very nervous because he is a werewolf. Now March is a doozy. We have quite a few titles that I want to talk about, but the first is Swift and Saddled by Lila Sage. This is the second book in her Rebel Blue Ranch series. That's a tongue twister. I don't want to read much into the synopsis because I still have to read the first book in this series, but the tagline for this one just says she's the city girl who refuses to be saddled with a man, and he's the cowboy who wants her anyway. I'm a sucker for someone outside of the city coming into a small town and falling in love with one of the members, or in this situation a cowboy. I think this is going to be very well done, and this cover is absolutely gorgeous. It's giving off like watercolor vibes. I'm here for it. This next one also comes out on the 5th of March, and it is Finley Donovan Rolls the Dice by El Casimano. This is the 4th book in the Finley series. My dad and I are both equally excited to start this one. For this 4th book in the series, Finley and Vero pack up their lives and head out on a road trip where they try to resolve all of the past debt and trauma, if you will, without giving away away any spoilers, that Vero has created so far. I'll be interested to see how it goes. I just read her short story that came out and it wasn't my favorite, so I'm hoping this one goes a lot better for me. Another one that comes out on the 5th of March is Murder Road by Simone St. James. I haven't read a new Simone St. James in a couple years, so I'm very much anticipating this one. I like going into my thrillers blind, so I'm not going to read the synopsis, but the tagline just says, a young couple find themselves haunted by a string of gruesome murders committed along an old deserted road in this terrifying new novel. The cover is eerie, that tagline is eerie. It already has a 4.31 rating on Goodreads, so I have my hopes set high for this new Simone St. James. Another one coming out on the 5th of March is The New Couple in 5B by Lisa Unger. I haven't read anything by Lisa Unger before, but something about this one just has me intrigued. It says a couple inherits an apartment with a spine-tingling past in this unputdownable thriller by Lisa Unger. She is also the author of Secluded Cabin Sleeps 6. I haven't read that one, but I've heard hot and cold things about it, but this one might be the one for me to dive into her writing to see if it's something that I will like. Then the last one we have coming out on the 5th of March is Kilt Trip by Alexandria Kiley. This is her debut novel, and when I heard about it, I instantly put it on my Goodreads because how good does this sound? Addie McRae is a wanderlust. She is a travel consultant constantly traveling around the world. And then our male main character is Logan Sutherlands, and his greatest joy is sharing the beauty of Scotland's hidden gems, even if it means a wee bit of red ink on the company's bottom line. As they wage an office war, Logan discovers Addie's secret connection to Scotland. A handful of faded Polaroids of her late mother. Hoping for a truce, he creates a private tour to the places of the pictures to help Addie find closure, but sparks fly between them. Addie's contract is almost up and magic won't pay the bills. They can't afford distractions, but how can Addie do her job if she hasn't explored all Scotland and Logan has to offer? The way the white bold font is in the middle of the cover, then the illustrations of the two characters with the castle in the background instantly drew me in. At first I thought this was going to be set in Ireland, but it's actually set in Scotland, so I am all game for this one. This next book comes out on the 12th of March, and it is Lynn Painter's newest Happily Never After. This just says their name, the objectors, their job to break off weddings as hired, but their dilemma, they might just be in love with each other. That's all I want to know going into it. It sounds like one that I will absolutely love and eat up within a day. Lynn Painter is an author that I really dove into within this 2023 year, so anything she writes from here on out, I'm more than likely to pick up. Then next up, coming out on the 19th of March, is Where Sleeping Girls Lie by the same author of Ace of Spades. Ace of Spades I wasn't the biggest fan of, but this is an author that I'll give another shot. This is a young adult contemporary mystery as we follow a girl as she's heading to a new boarding school. She discovers dark secrets and cover-ups after her roommate suddenly disappears. As you can clearly see with the cover of this book, this follows a creepy mystery young adult vibe, so whenever I'm in the mood for a young adult mystery, you can catch me picking this one up. This next one I haven't seen talked about anywhere, but I have to include it. This is by Carmen Lee, and it's titled The 710 Split. This comes out on the 21st of March. This cover I love, and if you know anything about me, I'm a bowler. I've been bowling since I was 8. It's been a part of my life for basically as long as I can remember, and this is a romance centered around bowling. I'm very nervous going into this one because I hope bowling gets an accurate representation within the book. Every book that I've read thus far that features bowling makes it so cringy and just not accurate to what bowling actually is. So Carmen Lee, if you need like a bowling beta reader for your book, definitely hit me up. Our two main characters are expected to be partners and lead their new bowling team to victory in 6 months. The next book comes out on the 25th of March, and it is The Angel of Indian Lake by Stephen Graham Jones. This is the 3rd book in the Indian Lake trilogy. If you don't know the first book, it is My Heart is a Chainsaw. I won't read the synopsis for this one just in case anyone is intrigued and hasn't read the series yet. I don't want to read it myself because I still have to read the second book within this series. This is a young adult horror mystery series where this young girl Jade is trying to save her hometown from everything going on within it. Then the last book that I want to talk about today today, comes out on the 26th of March, and it is The Good, the Bad, and the Aunties by Jessie Q. Sutanto. I don't know if I'm personally going to pick this one up, but I wanted to add it on the list because this is the final book within this Aunties World series. The blurb just says, what should have been a family celebration of Chinese New Year descends into chaos when longtime foes crash the party in this hilariously entertaining novel. The second one was just a little bit too cheesy for my liking, but I might give this one a go just so I can bid farewell to all of the characters that I grew to know and love. With all of that being said, let me know which books you guys are interested in reading within the first 3 months of this year. We have lots to look forward to in 2024, and I can't wait to dive into all of the books that I listed. I am very sweaty now because the sun is setting, which means it is coming out from behind the clouds, but I have to go inside and change because I'm currently running late to a luau that we're going to. It's our final night in Hawaii, and what better way to bid farewell than to do a little hula dancing. You guys know what to do at this point. Like this video, drop a comment down below, and share it with your friends. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I love you guys so much. See ya! Comfy cozy time. She is also the author of Six Secluded Cabin Sleep 6. I think it's clean. Are you clean? I think so.